to understand. I mean, it's small things sometimes, just like gum disease. I've had gum disease for years. And the thing to do is to keep brushing with various gubbins, lots of teppy brushes and, you know, everything. You're thinking, there's something else. There's something else. I'm missing something. This is just, you know, this super multidimensional being inhabiting this body must know something more than this. Because this is what the dentist says. This is
that question, since we brought it up, and here's the perfect time for asking questions and getting answers. From your own knowing or intelligence, your divinity, whatever, is there something that you can now do about that condition, about the gum disease, that will be effective and completely eradicate it?
Well, the first word that popped into my head was sugar, which I understand is quite a contributory factor to feeding this, whatever it is, bacteria, I think. Yeah.
So the answer is to lay off the sugar?
Could be.
Go back in, ask again, get more information. Because we want to be more specific now. We want to find out how, in all the details, how this actually can completely be changed in your reality of life right now.
No, it's more than that. This is about the belief. This is where the belief. So I've taken that as a belief. And there's, I'm sort of being shown a tree of, this could be thought tree, where the origin of the thought has spread out through. But it's got, as it's come down through, it's, I see, it's, so the truth is at the top of the tree, and then as it's coming down, it's being filtered through all these perception filters until it's got to the point where it is now, where it's a statement of fact that this is what I've got. So if I go up the tree, further up the tree to the where the truth is here, yeah, let's bring the truth to here. Oh yeah, okay. Oh. Oh, so the truth is, I don't have dis-ease. I don't have any.
So what do you have?
Well, it's the indication is that it's a destructed belief. It's a the truth has been intercepted and disrupted by what? What has it been disrupted by? Oh, right. Okay. So it's taking me back to all the old. Do you remember the old-fashioned dentists where they had a gas mask?
Yeah.
It's going back to those. It's going back to those where, as a child, I ate. Well, I don't think anybody really appreciated in those days that it was sugar that was doing your teeth in, and they just whipped your teeth out. Yeah. Oh dear, never mind. And I think it seems to go back to that story coming, and it's just exactly what we started talking about this morning. The story's been carried through to now.
So the story is what, the sugar rots your teeth?
Sugar rots your teeth, and in brackets gums.
Right.
That's the story. So the evidence, this is the interesting thing around the cancer and other conditions, is that there's evidence, and then there's the thing, but somewhere there's a disruption that actually we don't have to play the game of that. We don't. That's not our. We don't have to.
Yeah.
We're not. We're a bit like the reality game. We can play the reality game, or we can create our reality as part of the game. Okay, so where does that leave it? Rewrite the truth. Okay, rewrite the truth. So it seems to me that this branch of knowing just needs to be just needs to push the old story away. It's an energetic yeah, okay, flush it out then. Yes, you can. Sorry, I'm talking to...
No, yeah, I understand. You can go for it. It is the talking the thing out, which is great.
Yeah, go on. Okay, so I'm getting that part of me that knows this is pushing the truths through, and it's what does it look like? I think roots. It looks like roots growing, and the soil's nice and fertile, and everything is magically creating a new story of health and well-being. Ah, I see. So so the nutrients for this truth tree, if you like, are coming in as new food, or the existing food has new vitality. It's almost like the connections between this new truth of how I get my nutrients and the story associated with that, and the nutrients that are coming in are rewiring. Yeah, I can feel it. And the whole sense of that is sort of like the roots going out and the nutrients coming in, symbolic to the food and the way that I consume it. And my body messages me to attract the right vitamins, or the right. It's so much more than I'm saying, because the layers of it are very, very subtle.
Yes.
They're much more subtle than I can describe, because it's not just about me picking the right food. It's what that food does when it's in, and the story that's now doing me that's exactly right for me in the moment. And anything that isn't is just cast away. It just doesn't do anything. It doesn't do what it used to do, because the story's changed.
Mm.
Does that make
So
sense?
that's fascinating. So your behavior towards food is changing.
And the food's behavior towards me is changing. Does that make sense? So that has a sentience, and that when it comes into my body has been reading the program that my body has, and says, oh, this is what we do in this body, and we go off, maybe we go off and we create fat, or we do this, or we do that. And now the story is, it comes in, oh, that we haven't got a job here. Well, we just pass through then. We don't do that. We don't feed the bacteria, in the way we connect with this body.
But that opens also something up, which says you can give it a function. You can give particular foods, particular functions.
Yeah.
if I follow through with what you're just saying.
Mm. True, true. So it can either pass through with no effect, and which was a waste of time eating it in the first place, or or
Maybe.
you, yeah, like I say, you can make it. You can ask it to do what it's designed to do, which maybe invigorate and energize and do whatever.
Or having the food just because it was so delicious in the first place.
Mm. And I think, and that's one of the things with the sugary treats and stuff, is that they're so deliciously, your programming so strong in that direction, that the thought of giving it all up is so like flipping heck. That's a big one. I was chatting to somebody who's a vegan, and they were saying about milk and how many animals still have to die when you drink milk, and you're thinking, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that, but it's such a big ask for to actually give up all dairy as well. So I've already got sort of semi-vegetarian. I still eat the odd piece of fish and stuff like that, but I've been vegetarian-ish for years. But to go the extra, and I'm thinking, well, does my body want that anyway? Is that what I need, or is that what the planet needs? Yeah, so there's lots of stuff in there, isn't there, with the nutrition thing and your principles and what you want out of life, all those things. But that was interesting. I just got the feeling that there was a definite restructure thing going on there with the belief of how food and nutrition is not just about what you're eating. And I think that goes on to where the way you're connecting the way you live, what you think, how you believe, with the whole thing, isn't it? It's all connected, but so much more. There's so much more subtle energy in there than maybe we thought at first.
And as you said, multi-layered.
Yeah.
We probably don't even have the whole picture of what we could uncover through this conversation.
Yeah.
But we're getting to see something which we hadn't seen before. Yeah, it was quite interesting that you can have food do something for you that you hadn't realized it could do, and which it hadn't been doing until really you give it that openness to take on more functionality.
Mm.
Mm.